this video I'm going to go through the workflow of my negatives, and in this case it's Ilford PanF 50 that I've pushed to 800. I'll give you the recipe and my results, so don't be afraid to push film. That's what this video is about. If you like to learn and be inspired, join me on a quest of creativity, explore film, alternative processes and digital. Please subscribe and hit that notification button to get the latest videos every week. So hello there, and what I'm going to do today is go through a workflow of this Ilford film that I just shot with, and this is PanF. PanF is at 50 ASA, and I've actually shot this at 800 ASA, which is 4 stops more than it should be. So as you can see in my SliverFast here, the exposure on this one here in particular, the first one needs to be increased by a factor of 2. That one is fine. So this one actually turned out to be a double exposure. Actually that one is not fine. Actually that needs to be increased also by a factor of 1. And the one below, which is a double exposure. I did get one exposure out of my negatives that didn't need any alteration at all. I've chosen Ilford, PanF 50, nothing special. I've increased my midtones here just a little. That's pretty much what I've set up here. I've scanned it to, 2400 DPI. Yeah, once they're finished, then I bring it into Photoshop. So in Photoshop, let's just bring that up here, and we're going to just zoom out. So here's my image here, and then I start repairing my scratches and dust, because I live in Graz and we live in the city of dust. They call it the city of design. I call it the city of dust. We've got a lot of traffic here, and we kind of live in a basin here full of dust, but thankfully at the moment we don't have much traffic with the corona. It's one positive thing about corona, I suppose. Okay, so moving on swiftly. So what we got here is levels. Sometimes you need to change these around a bit. In this case, this image is pretty alright. We could tweak it up here for the highlights, and then we got the midtones in the middle here. We can just say and you know, that's about as much as I do, and then maybe a slight S-curve depending on the image. Now I got to admit that when I took these images, the light didn't really need to be shot at 800. I was trying out pushing the film. That was the idea behind this, but it works. I developed it in Ilford DDX for 18 minutes. Standard ratio 1:4. Here's another image here. Just have a look at that. I mean, you can see the grain, the detail. I mean, that's pretty normal stuff. That's at 100. Let's put it at 100%. Okay, that's pretty much 100%. Just move around here and you can see the detail. The detail's fine. I've got to say I'm really happy with what's been achieved here by pushing PanF to 800 ASA. I mean, I didn't know that was possible. I mean, yeah, sure, people have done it on the internet, but it's the first time I've done it, and I'm very happy with the results. I'm really happy. Excuse me. I'm really happy with the results. Let's have a look what else I've got here. I just got, so it's a couple of images of a wind park that I went for a hike through, and it's, yeah, everything's fine. Let me see if I can find the one that didn't need any adjustment. I'll just switch through the images here, and you can see them all. Yeah, this one. This is an image here that didn't need pretty much any adjustment at all. This came out quite nice. I'll just zoom in here because, yeah, of course I've got to fix a few little dusts and scratches around. That's pretty much all. I mean, there's no work done on this. That's how it came out. Of the SliverFast software. I'm kind of happy with the tonality of it, and just to bear in mind, this was shot on a very overcast, kind of gloomy day, and that's pretty much perfect for pushing the film to 800. And you can see it's how I expected it, how I saw it. I've got to do a bit of work on the image, but there's not much to be done on it, to be honest. I'm just using the healing brush here. I just press J on my keyboard to switch to the healing brush. For me, I wouldn't add anything more to this. I'm very happy. And yeah, let's have a look at another image. Yeah, here, this is one that's come true. Now this is completely it's a little dark, but that was a difficult exposure, to be honest. I could go with the levels here crazily. I mean, you can see the histogram here is, yeah, I could have tweaked that exposure a bit better when I took it, but that really requires a better light meter than I have. Let's just have a look in at the detail here. Yeah, detail's fine, it's sharp enough, but you can see I have a lot of dust to clean up, a lot of dust. Let's just go back to the background layer. Yeah, so clean up on that. That's something I really need to figure out, a better way of getting rid of all that dust and scratches. It could also be that my fixer, I need to replace my fixer as well, because there's those little white bits here. You can see that little white bit here, just there, and that's a clear sign that you've got some kind of crap in your in your fixer, and which I probably have, to be honest. I mean, and I'm not in my proper darkroom here. I'm in lockdown, so I've got my makeshift darkroom, and that also, my proper darkroom is in the countryside where I go on the weekends, and that tends not to have all this kind of, you know, these squiggles all over the place, and that's from the dust that's flying around in the air here in the city. Yeah, but that's pretty much all that I do to my images that I shoot with on film. I try not to change anything too drastically. It should look like what you could do in a darkroom, whether it's dodge and burn, or, you know, increase contrast or exposure. I mean, of course, you're free to do whatever you like. I mean, that's, who's to say? I mean, digital and analog, you can just, you know, if you want to change the tone of this, and that's all up to, you want to colorize it, far away. Yeah. Who am I to say what one should do with their images? Yeah. So that's pretty much it on the workflow. Any other questions or comments, put them down down below. So I'm dead chuffed with shooting with PanF. I like PanF very much, actually, to be honest. So let's go through. There's one of Iris that came out quite nice. Another windmill in the wind park. This is a bit flat, to be honest, but I could do a bit more contrast. But the detail's phenomenal. I mean, the detail's definitely there. Let's just have a look at that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I've cleaned this one up now, but yeah, nice. The grain is lovely on it. It's fine. That's DDX. If you developed an Ilford, my goodness, that would be like a snowstorm, I guess. Yeah, another shot there. And I think I think they're about 80 megabytes. It's about enough for medium format. That's just, yeah. You see, there would be a bit of work there now to be done. Yeah, that one I haven't finished off, haven't cropped it. A bit of blur here on the rotors. I was probably shooting at 60 at that point, I think. I was trying different things out with the film, but this was one of the last ones of this was the last actually exposure on the film. So let's just zoom out of that. That's probably my favorite of all of it. Yeah, definitely shoot PanF in an overcast, miserable day. It comes out beautiful. So if you're ever stuck with a roll of film and you think, oh, it's too, you know, it's not fast enough. Not with PanF, or FP4 is the same. You can push that up to 1600. And Kodak Tri-X, you can also, I think that can, people have done crazy stuff with that. For me, it's all quite new. I've shot PanF now for a couple of years, but I've never really pushed it. Been probably a bit conservative in that sense of things, but Well, that's gone out the window anyway. I'll be definitely doing this again. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification button. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Goodbye. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the little notification bell, and hope to see you on the next video. Goodbye.